In today's video, I'm going to be setting off one of the fire sprinklers that is installed inside this garage. For anyone that is new here to the channel, I installed an automatic sprinkler system in this garage I am stood in. I installed that a year or two back, and I have multiple videos in a series installing that system in here. And today I'm going to be testing it, actually seeing how these fire sprinklers work. This is one of the sprinkler heads that I'm going to be setting off. Now, that is different than this sprinkler head. This is a sprinkler head that I have set off before. This is a pendant sprinkler head, and these are what are installed in this garage. However, I've got one of these sidewall heads, and that's what we're going to be testing in today's video. These are the pendant heads right here, and it's one of these that I set off before. That's this head right here. There's a whole bunch of these in this building. There's one here, one in this closet, two in this closet, two in the attic. There's another one over there, another one up here, one in the attic over there, and in the washroom over here, there's another one up there. So when I tested that sprinkler head, it was really important to do that one because there's so many of them in this building. However, up here is a different one. This is the one and only sidewall sprinkler head in the building. And this is the one that we're going to be setting off in today's video. Now, between these two sprinkler heads, there's a couple differences beyond the obvious looks and type. That this is a horizontal sidewall sprinkler versus this is a pendant sprinkler. First, they both activate at the same temperature, 68 degrees Celsius or 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Another similarity, these are both quick response heads. You can see that the glass tube in this sprinkler is quite small versus some ones that have larger ones. That makes this sprinkler activate quickly, therefore being called a quick response head. Another similarity, these are both low flow or residential heads. This one takes it to a different level though. That's sort of what we're going to be testing in this video. This is K4.2. This is a K3.0. What that is referring to is the orifice in the bottom of the sprinkler head. The lower the number, the smaller the orifice, and the more restricted the water flowing into it will be, which will create that water to come out at a much higher rate of speed, hitting this deflector and creating a large enough spray pattern with a limited amount of flow, which is perfect for residential applications like this system and many others would be, where you don't have a high flow rate but you still need to cover a given area with your sprinkler head to still make sure that whole area would get water in a fire, which is the purpose of these, is to be able to effectively create a large spray pattern off a very low flow rate. However, what we're doing today is testing this one because I've tested this one before on my system and it performed quite well. Today we're going to be testing this one because it's got a slightly higher number, therefore it's not going to work off my quite limited flow quite as well as this one will. The whole reason for this sprinkler head being here is because of this garage door. When this garage door is up, it would block this sprinkler head from being functional. Therefore, we have this one installed here just for in the situation that the door is up and a fire was to start. The main controls of the sprinkler system are located over here, underneath of the fire alarm panel. Our water comes into the building here, going through a valve, but that doesn't affect the sprinkler system. We come out here into the sprinkler system and we have a valve that will shut off the entire sprinkler system right here. We have our pressure gauge right here, and then coming up here we have our flow switch here, which is monitored from the fire alarm panel with this Honeywell monitor module. That is what sets the fire alarm system off. And we also come out of the pipe right here and go into this, which that is a drain and test. We are going to be effectively setting off this exact head here. But how am I going to do that without making a mess? outside here, I've mounted this sprinkler head as our test demo. This is the exact same head that is installed inside, and it's actually installed at the exact same height as well. You can see this is all adapted from the garden hose to a 1/2 inch female NPT where our sprinkler head can thread into it. Now we're going to take that hose and run it into the building. That hose is going to go right onto where this sprinkler head is mounted. That will give us the most realistic scenario, as we are going to be taking water from exactly where this sprinkler head is installed. Therefore, that will factor in all of the same bends in the pipe and restrictions that this sprinkler head would have affecting it. The scenario that we're doing today is going to negatively affect it slightly because we're going through like 75 feet of garden hose, so that will have some impact, but this is the most realistic scenario that I can replicate. When we do this, we are going to set off the fire alarm system, as I want to see just how it works with setting off this flow switch. I don't anticipate there being any issues, but we will be setting the fire alarm system off, so I need to disable our other fire alarm system in the house so this doesn't create a whole bunch of noise in the house for no reason. Garage building B tie-in disable. That's what we're going to be triggering here. There we go. That has now disabled that building from being able to set off the house system. Therefore, we won't set off this alarm here. Now we need to hook into this sprinkler system here. So we're going to shut this off, and we're going to open our drain. And it is extremely windy out here, so I apologize if the wind noise is bad. Okay, that has the sprinkler system drained down. So now I've got this adapter here that is going to take that 1/2 inch NPT to 3/4 inch hose thread. Yeah, it is crazy windy out here. Okay, hose is now connected. That means we can refill the sprinkler system. We tripped the monitor module there for a second, but because of the time delay, I was able to put it back. We have leaks, so I'm going to let that go. I've just tightened everything up, so we will try again. Just a small drip, but we can live with that. I've just cracked this open to let the air come out of the line. Okay, I've tightened that back up and we are all pressurized. That is just waiting to go off, just as any other sprinkler head would be. Installed at the same height and off, getting supplied from the same location. So other than the losses with the hose, this is as realistic as we can get. All right, I'm ready to go. Let's get it. Okay, so I think that has given us a pretty good idea of how that looks, so let's shut it down. Okay, so let's talk about the results on that. Overall, meh, not great, really. Those other sprinkler heads, the K3 heads that are installed in 95% of the building, those are great. Those get probably about 12 to 14 feet of solid coverage around them, so that is good. This got probably about 8 feet, 8 feet of coverage, maybe 9 or 10. So not great at all. Out the sides it got probably 5 feet either side. So what do I think of that? Well, it's not great, but it's not terrible. For where it's mounted in the building, that amount of coverage outwards probably was going to put out whatever fire is in front of it. And side to side, that's just fine. It's not the greatest coverage ever, that's for sure, but it is what it is, especially considering this is only when the garage door is up. Usually the garage door spends almost all the time. The garage door gets open like once a month for 10 minutes. So that's pretty good odds of being covered by your pendant on the ceiling, which those work just fine. And also we do get some losses in the hose, so we'd be probably a little bit better. Overall, it is what it is. This was more just for fun, as I'm not too worried about it, as our pendants on the ceiling should cover almost everything if should something ever happen. You can see the space here is only 4 feet to either side of the sprinkler head, and we've got about 12 feet to the front of the building. It is really freaking windy out here. I would like to get some sprinkler heads onto this again here. I don't know if anyone remembers seeing this. I built this. This is 1-inch copper, and I can put 3 different sprinkler heads on it of any size. I can do 1/2-inch heads, 3/4 inch, and 1-inch, just depending on how I move around these adapters. And I can do, you can see, I can do upright heads, sidewall heads, and pendant heads. And this hooks up to a fire hydrant connection. So this has the 2.5-inch hydrant thread there, adapted down to 1-inch, and it goes through this ball valve with a union on it, so I could attach this. And I did make a video of it at one point, but I got in trouble for that, so I now have to find another way to do this, which I do think I have something that I could do. It just requires time, and I have to the proper people that I need to connect with to make that happen. So I definitely could do it. I think it's just not as convenient, that's for sure. However, I'd really like to do this because that was really cool when I did that before. Here is the activated head. I can't find the plug for it. I may end up finding it eventually, but I haven't looked hard enough, and I don't feel like finding it right now, but there you go. So guys, that is about it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to give a thumbs up. If you do have any comments, questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content, stuff posted earlier than you'd see it on the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching.